Welcome to the Hub Brief. If you work in specialty pharma, running a hub operation, navigating prior authorization workflows, managing patient services programs, or just trying to figure out what AI actually means for your team, this show is for you. I'm Ankur Jain, founder of Artha Consulting. The word Artha comes from Sanskrit. It means purpose, meaning, prosperity, not profit extracted from a process, impact in service of something larger. My work sits at the intersection of organizational strategy, technology, and patient access. And the belief that anchors everything I do is this: people are the most important technology in any change initiative. Not the AI platform, not the workflow automation, the people who have to trust it, use it, and stand behind it when something goes wrong. I've spent my career inside high pressure, high stakes transformation, not watching from the outside, but working through it. I know what happens when a new system lands and the team that has to live in it wasn't part of the conversation. I know the disengagement that follows. Change is not just about technology or processes, it's about people. When organizations forget that, the real results disappoint, no matter how good the software is. This show is where I think out loud. Every episode is built around something I've just published: an article, a framework, an analysis, and we go deeper here, less formal, more honest, blending strategy, technology, and compassion, the only combination that actually sticks. We're going to cover a lot of ground: AI governance in clinical operations, how to build a compliance posture that doesn't fall apart the moment someone comes looking, leadership decisions that executives make on gut feel, and why gut feel isn't enough in this environment, how to earn trust as a thought leader in a highly technical industry, and the operational questions nobody talks about at conferences. What does it actually take to build a hub that scales without grinding the people inside it? This is episode 1, and we are starting with a series I've been thinking about for a long time. 4 episodes, one topic: AI governance in hub operations. Here is why it matters right now. Specialty pharma hubs are under enormous pressure to bring AI in: faster prior cycles, more patient volumes, better eligibility flagging. The efficiency case is real, but the governance conversation is dangerously behind. And in this industry, when governance fails, it isn't just an audit finding. It's a patient who doesn't get their medication. It's a staff member who made a call they thought the system had authorized. It's a program that gets shut down, not because of bad intent, but because no one documented who owned what decision. Technology deployed without human infrastructure around it doesn't just create compliance risk, it creates human cost. That's the core argument of this whole series. Over these 4 episodes, I want to walk through what it actually takes to govern AI in a hub environment: the accountability chain, the escalation logic, the documentation standards that will protect you when something goes wrong. Because something will go wrong. The question is whether you built a system where a human being can catch it and fix it. Today, we start with the foundational question: is your AI governance a gate or a guardrail? Every technology that's entered healthcare follows the same pattern. Someone sees a problem, a vendor sells a solution, and governance, well, the human infrastructure that makes technology safe to use shows up late. After the audit, after the patient falls through the gap, well, we saw it with EHRs, we saw it with RPAs, and it's happening again right now with AI. Here's a scenario I want you to sit with. You're running a hub. A year ago, you brought in an AI system. It's helping with some prior authorization reviews, routing some regular patient inquiries, catching eligibility issues before they become delays. The rollout went well, the leadership is happy, but 12 months in, something feels off. You've got 3 people on your team whose entire job is reviewing AI outputs. Processing times haven't moved. Your staff, people you hired because they have clinical judgment, are spending most of the day clicking approve on the cases they barely have time to actually read. And when someone from compliance asks who's accountable for the decision this system has been making, nobody has a clean answer. That's not a technology failure. That's a human transition failure. And there's a name for it, the overgate. There are two ways this goes wrong, the overgate and the missing rail. The overgate happens when fear drives the design. Every single AI output goes to a human reviewer, no matter how routine, no matter how low the risk. On the surface, it sounds responsible. But what you've actually built is a machine that generates work without generating insight. The people you hired for their judgment are being used as a throughput. That is the opposite of putting humans first. The missing rail, on the other hand, is the other extreme example. And honestly, it's more dangerous. No escalation logic, no accountability chain. The AI runs with autonomy it was never designed to carry. And when it fails, and it will, nobody can explain what happened. Nobody owns the outcome. You haven't protected your people. You just quietly removed them from the loop and called it progress. The guardrail is the answer that puts humans back where they belong. And the way I think about is this: not every case is the same, so your oversight shouldn't be the same either. Think about it in four buckets. Some decisions are routine, low clinical stakes. The AI is confident, and a human reviewer to every single one doesn't really protect anyone. It just slows things down and burns people out. Let the system run, keep an eye out on the patterns, but stop asking your team to sign off things that machine can handle better than a manual review ever did. But there are the medium stake situation where the AI does the legwork, pulls the cases together, flags what matters, but a qualified person looks at it and says yes or no before anything happens. Not rubber stamping, actually reviewing. That distinction matters enormously when a regulator is in the room. For the high stakes cases, the human isn't approving the AI's recommendation. The human is making the decision. The AI is there to surface information, organize a record, flag what might be missing. But the call belongs to a person, and that person's name is on the audit log. Then there's this fourth category, the highest stake situations, the cases that carry the most clinical and legal weight, where the AI has no decision making role at all, not a policy that says it shouldn't, a system that makes it impossible. Because policies bend when queues get long and SLA pressure kicks in, but system boundaries don't bend. Three things I want you to do this week. First, pull the numbers on how much of your AI output is going to the human review. If it's over 80%, you have an overgate and your team is spending their time serving the machine instead of serving the patient. Second, ask your team directly who owns each category of AI decision. If the answer is vague, no one really knows, or people just point to the system itself, you have a missing rail. Third, check whether your escalation triggers live in your system architecture or it's just in a policy document. If it's only in the policy document, you don't have control, you just have good intention. That's episode 1. Next week, we get into the accountability chain. What defensible AI governance actually looks like in writing when someone is really looking close. Articles in this show notes. I'm Ankur Jain. This is the Hub Brief. See you next week.